I was left out and I did not know it at first. So here's the scenario. I was an HR professional at a large company, and they were at this time going through operational excellence assessments across the larger sites within the organization. And I was aware of these assessments, but I was not aware of how individuals were selected to become part of these assessments. So, just so happens, I had a conversation with, or I was speaking with two of my HR peers, and they let me know that they were participating in these assessments. And so, in the conversation, I found out that you become an assessor based on your manager nominating you to be an assessor. So, the interesting thing is that the two peers that I was speaking with, they did not find the work to be an operational excellence assessor to be fulfilling. It was not appealing to them at all. But on the flip side of that coin, I was interested in being an assessor because I saw that it very well aligned with my career aspirations. I was going to school to get my human resource development degree, my master's degree in HRD. And part of that is organizational effectiveness and org development and those types of things. And so after having these conversations and understanding that they became part of this initiative by way of their manager nominating them, that gave me the language that I needed to use in order to have a conversation with my direct manager. And so I went to my manager and, presented my case, so to speak, on becoming a culture and talent management assessor in these operational excellence assessments. And he denied my request. You see, my manager was very much focused on his HR resources, myself and some others who were at our particular site. He wanted us to fully prioritize and have our complete focus on the managers and leaders who were at our site. He was not interested in sharing his resources out to other sites. And so I was disappointed that he denied my request because I saw this as an opportunity of growth for me. It was something that I was interested in. And this is where my mentor came in. And so when you have the right mentor, that person can help you get access and opportunities and help break barriers that you alone cannot do. And so, as she and I were having one of our regularly scheduled one on one conversations, we were talking about my career development and what I needed and desired from a development perspective that will help me to reach my career aspirations. And so, as we were talking, she just asked me, she said, "Are you interested in becoming an OPEX assessor for the culture and talent management pillar?" And I told her that I was interested. And I also shared with her that I had a conversation with my manager about participation and his response back to me. Well, several days after this meeting with my mentor, my manager came to my office to let me know that he was fine with me participating as an OPEX assessor as long as I kept up with my day to day responsibilities. Because being an assessor was going to take a significant amount of my time. And so that was going to hinder my ability to be able to 100% focus on the site that I worked at as he wanted me to do. And so I figured it out. Of course, I figured it out. This was something that was a huge opportunity for me that ended up paying dividends for me throughout my career since that moment. And what it did for me was it helped me to be able to connect what I was doing, as I said, back to my career aspirations. I was working towards getting my HRD degree. And so the opportunity to do the evaluations and making recommendations as it related to org effectiveness, it aligned with what I wanted. I did not see this as something that was fun, so to speak, or something that was pulling me away and, a way for me to get away, a way for me to get away from doing my work, my primary responsibilities. That was not it at all. It was very much about how can I further develop in my career by doing this work. So being able to have those conversations with my mentor and my mentor being well connected within the organization, she was able to advocate for me to be able to be an assessor. Not only was she advocating for me to be an assessor with my manager and was able to get the go ahead there for me, she also was able to use her influence with the OpEx leader at the time to be able to get me on to my first project. And then the work that I did allowed me to be able to get selected for the second site, that I was able to get selected for as well. But because of her, I was able to experience what I call a very unique experience, and it was a game-changing experience for me in my career the because of the differentiating experience that I got. So I know I use the word experience a lot, but um but that's what it did for me. It provided me with differentiating experience as it related to org effectiveness and being able to deep dive into the data and the things that those organizations that we were assessing what they needed. And I considered it wins each time one of my recommendations was accepted. I considered that a win for me because it validated to me that what I was doing was aligned with what those sites needed, and I was able to get the buy-in from those executive leaders for those particular sites. So it was definitely a game changer for me in my career. So when we're thinking about women in leadership, and that's whether you are a formal leader within your organization or whether you are an informal leader within your organization, being able to have a mentor who can truly help you to be able to get the accesses that you need, the opportunities that you need, the visibility that you need, those are game changers. And so I want to just share with you some of the takeaways that I have when it comes to having a mentor. So not just the takeaways, but just some of the thoughts that I have as it relates to having the right mentor, who can help you to have those game changing, differentiating experiences in your career. So the first is that you want to, before you even get a mentor, you want to make sure that you are clear about what it is that you want in your career. This will help you, this will help guide you on the type of mentor that you need and specifically what you need that mentor for. So you can have more than one mentor. You don't have to just have one mentor, but you want to make sure that whatever mentor you have is helping to guide you down the right pathway. And you first need to know what is that pathway that you want to go down in order for them to be able to help you. And then you want to make sure that you select a mentor who has time for you. So it's not just about that person's influence or their position and so on. You want to make sure the person actually has time for you. So you can block off time with this person by having pre-scheduled meetings, or you can have agreements where you go on lunch dates, or maybe I shouldn't call it dates, but you go on lunch outings with one another at whatever frequency is important. Or if you can't get on their calendar during, typical working hours, then try to find those lunch hours where you can connect with that mentor, or you can meet for coffee if you drink coffee, or a mid-afternoon break. But whatever you need to do in order to stay in contact with your mentor, do that. But you want to make sure that that mentor has time for you or can carve out time for you based on some of the things that I just shared, or you can use some of the techniques that I just shared with you. You also want to solicit your mentor's support. So you can have the scheduled meetings that you have, but you want to make sure that they are properly positioned to be able to support you. So this is whether it's through getting advice from them, whether it's doing role play, um, for an upcoming difficult conversation that you're going to have, whether it's advocacy that you need from them to help you to remove barriers or roadblocks that you're experiencing in your career, or it could be that they are providing support by being a sounding board for you as you're making tough decisions around or about your career. You also want to honor your mentor mentee relationship. And what this means is that this is a two-way relationship, and you want to make sure that you hold up your end of the bargain and making sure that the conversations that you have with your mentor are confidential. Your mentor may share things with you that they otherwise wouldn't share with someone else. And so you want to make sure that these conversations are confidential. And that's also thinking about your transparency when you are communicating with your mentor. You want to be open and transparent with them, as it relates to your career development, as it relates to whatever career struggles that you may be having. So you may be having difficulty with your manager. And so you want to be able to trust that mentor to be able to confide in them and have the conversations with them as it relates to your struggles, whatever they may be. And then you want to allow your mentor to truly mentor you. You want that person to truly be able to mentor you. This is not just a time, or this is not just a relationship where you're shooting the breeze and just having discussions and so on. This is a career building relationship, so to speak. And so you want to make sure you are giving your mentor space to be able to truly mentor you. Um, and then the last thing that I want to share as it relates to honoring the relationship is that if your mentor sets you up with an opportunity, so this is whether they are connecting you with someone, whether they are connecting you with a project opportunity, or whatever it may be that they are connecting you to, or whatever opportunity they are presenting before you, you want to make sure that you follow through. You want to respect the influence that they are using that opens doors for you. You want to make sure that you respect that. You also want to pay it forward. So, another thing as it relates to mentorship is that you want to pay it forward. Your leadership skills continue to build when you take time to mentor someone else. And again, you don't have to be a formal leader. You can be an informal leader in order to be a mentor. And when you take the time to mentor someone else, this is allowing you to grow. So you don't just grow by being a mentee, you can grow by being a mentor. So, career growth, development, and fulfillment, I want you to remember that it is not a solo endeavor. Those are not solo endeavors, rather. Don't go at trying to achieve career success on your own. Reach out and get help. There are people who are willing to help you to be able to accelerate your career progression. And sometimes you can get that by way of a mentor. So having the right mentor can get you access, visibility, it can lead you to new opportunities, and so much more. So if you don't have a mentor, or if you are not fully embracing the benefits of mentorship, get started right away to do something about that so that you can experience the game-changing effects of mentorship. So, in the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and give mentorship a try. If you haven't done that before, give it a try, fully embrace it, and let it help you successfully navigate your career journey.